Coach, just your thoughts on how much Javier has improved since his time here.
He's come a long way. You know, Javier got here, 17 years old. You know, how old are you now, Jay?
20.
When did you turn 20?
October 20.
Yeah, he just turned 20. So he's still young in terms of experience. He's like a 19-year-old because his first year he didn't play. You know, he backed up Josh Carlton, Fabian White, Reggie, and Jaywan. So he didn't even get to play his first year. Last year was the first time he played, and he played in a very limited role as the season went on because of Reggie. Nothing he did wrong. It's just I just would rather had seen Reggie in there. Because Reggie impacted winning better than he did last year. But this year, you know, he's going to continue to improve and learn how to play our system. It takes a while, you know. On October 28th, you play October 28th basketball. You know, December basketball. We'll be a lot better on November 28th than we are on October 28th, and we'll be a lot better on December 28th. But you know, coaches as old as I am, or all coaches, understand this is a process. But there is no progress without the process. The process is really, really important. So you can't speed it up. Can't make somebody a January version of themselves in October. So I've seen about, I don't know how many of these exhibition games. They're all about the same. None of them better than others. They're just October and first time they put the uniform on, first time they see anybody. But looking back, last year I don't think we had an exhibition game. I think we did the year before. I don't remember it. I don't remember the one in 2019 either. So don't worry. I like exhibition games because, you know, like our freshmen, they're going to get nervous. You know, we've got two really good big guys, freshmen. They're going to be good, both of them. Jacob and Sid. I just saw little things that they were doing that we've been working on that they did tonight. I mean, nobody else noticed it because you're not going to look at what we look at. But they're both going to be good. And I like how they're practicing, like how they're getting better. Just like the other freshman, JoJo Tugler. You know, he's been out there with he had a practice uniform on last week, and tonight I think he's had 9 block shots in 2 games, and he's averaging about 17 minutes a game. You know, he had 7 offensive rebounds tonight. So he's getting better and better and better. So, but he's part of our growth. You know, LJ's still hesitating a little bit about what we're in. It's October 28th. He's supposed to hesitate. Marcus didn't hesitate. Marcus in his 4th year. You know, some people that don't know what they're doing or talking about will try to compare LJ right now to Marcus. Marcus played 100 and some games in that jersey. This is LJ's first. He's never played for us. He doesn't know what he knows what our system is. He just doesn't know how to make it work for somebody else. That's when you know it, is when you can make somebody else better through the system. And we have a lot of guys like that, still learning. But I was, you know, some of these games are necessary evils. So played a lot of guys tonight. Had them running in and out. I don't look at the score. I don't look at stuff that's unimportant. I just let everybody play. And that's gives us something to look at on film, and we can evaluate it and come back next week, have a good week of practice, and open the season up on November 6th.
Kelvin, you guys had, I think, 20 fast break points tonight. Was that just the nature of the game, or is that something this team can do, you know, a little bit more maybe?
Our best rebounding teams usually turn into good running teams. You know, I had somebody ask me one time, why don't you run more? Well, let's think about that now. How do you run? First of all, you got to get them to shoot and miss, but then you have to get the rebound, right? Okay. Every time we get them to shoot and miss and get a rebound, I'm not telling them to slow down. You got to get a rebound first. It's like they get 4 or 5 offensive rebounds, or they score 4 or 5 straight possessions. Saying, Coach, you got to run more. Well, listen, dummy. We're trying as hard as we can to run, but we need to get the rebound and get them to shoot and miss. So all that's relevant to that. This is going to be a good rebounding team, though. That team last year, I think they were 24-3. What was their record? 26-3, 26-4, and they were in the top 4 or 5 in the nation in offensive rebounding. That's 2 straight games where we've dominated the boards. So you got to figure out what you want to be good at, and then move from there. We're rebounding the ball pretty good. Emanuel's a really good shooter. Terrence's a good shooter. We didn't make. We're 4 or 5 open shots, making those shots tonight from scoring 100 points, but we didn't make those shots. But when we shot and missed them, JoJo went and got them. Then he went to the line and made 1 out of 2 3 times. So it all adds up. But I'm neither pleased nor displeased. I really don't have much of an evaluation. I just know you play this exhibition game, and I don't spend 2 seconds worrying about anything with it. I'm more concerned about the film and what we can correct, what we can emphasize and teach and move into next week.
Kelvin, how cool of a moment, what did it mean to you to be able to host UNC Pembroke for this game?
Yeah, it means a lot. I grew up in that town, and most of the people I grew up with didn't have much money, and we had a university there that we could go to. We could get financial aid, and I know a lot of my friends could have never gone to another college because they didn't have any money. So UNC Pembroke, back when I was a young man or a little boy, people were graduating from there with elementary school education degrees. They were getting teaching certificates. They became teachers. When I was in school there, I think they had like 2,300 students, just a real small college. Now it's over 7,000. It's one of the great educations in eastern North Carolina. So I'm really proud. Really proud of where they came from and the opportunities that they afforded a lot of people when they would not have had an opportunity. So I think that's important. So being able to bring them out here is just, for me, a way to say thank you and to give back. If you read the, one of my greatest scriptures in the Bible, it says you measure a man's wealth not by his material gains, but what he gives back. So anytime we have a chance to give back, we should.
Coach Ramon Walker and Malik Wilson both redshirted last year. What have you seen from them coming into this year, and how do you expect them to contribute?
Well, Malik's first time I've seen him play in 5 weeks. He broke his hand. So tonight was more just getting in shape. How he played tonight, I don't even remember how he played. Probably just played okay, but that's irrelevant. What's he going to look like a month from now? Did Malik? No, he practiced this week, right?
Yeah.
What, a day or 2?
Yeah, about 2 days.
So I think he 2 days, but it was non-contact. Tonight was, I think, the first time he's been in contact since late September. So it's just good to get cardio. Same thing with Ramon. The one thing you can count on with Ramon is his effort. He plays so hard, and he's continuing to work on things. That was a kind of a back and forth game, and we forced 18 turnovers, but we only had 7 turnovers. That's an improvement. Forcing 18 turnovers is a improvement. We didn't shoot the ball very good. We had plenty of looks. We just couldn't get it to go down. But the fact that we had good looks is more important right now than whether they went in or not. They'll go in, and but as the season goes on, your rotation will tighten up a little bit. You figure out who you can depend on and who you can't. But Ramon and Malik will both have very important roles for this team this year, for sure.
Jay, talk about how you developed in your career here so far, and then working against the bigs in practice. How that's helped you?
I feel like
last year, like since when I first got here, I had, like Coach said, I had Fabe. I was right behind Fabe, Reggie, Josh. They helped me prepare me for last year, and then last year, Reggie, J1, they helped me prepare for this year, and I felt like just going against them type of players every day just preparing me for going against everybody else.
Hold up. Everything he's saying is being recorded right there in print. What kind of job you guys got? Huh? I mean, you guys can just phone this thing in. I mean, I'm sitting here watching this thing. I'm just saying what I'm saying now. So you guys can just kind of be like a teacher grading a paper, just say, take this out, take this out, take this out, take this out. I've never seen that before. I guess I'm old school dude, didn't use that technology. What do you call that? A what?
Otter.
Otter? O-T-T-E-R? Yeah. Did you know that? Yeah, well, cool. I just thought it was an old dude, didn't know what it was.
Have you heard of ChatGPT?
What?
ChatGPT, have you heard of that?
I know what a Oldsmobile GT is.
AI,
What does that do? Just
augmented or artificial intelligence that like you literally type up like.
yo, man, I'm still trying to get over Alexa and a GPS. I'm still trying to figure out how that lady inside that phone can tell me where to turn. I'm still trying to figure that out.
Emanuel, for you, your second full season here with the program. Where do you feel you've grown heading into your again full year two?
Just playing the whole year last year. Just since that was my first year back after my injury, it was kind of like breaking me in. But getting a whole year of experience, and especially that half year before that, getting used to this program. Just being more comfortable on the court and being more comfortable in practice and playing against high-level players like the ones on our team and the ones that we play in our conference and non-conference, and just playing more basketball. That's really what it is, just being more experienced and more comfortable on the court.
Coach, you won last year with Jarris, sort of had to play a little bit more five. This year, how beneficial is it for him to be able to play with a more traditional five and be back at the power forward position with Javier and JoJo?
I don't think it really matters to J1. I think it helps us in some areas. We're still working on J1 about spacing. I remember when I used to play Justin Gorham in the game together with Fabian. Who's my starting five-man? Bryson Gresham. I would have Bryson and Justin in there. So Bryson's where he needs to be, and as the ball's getting swung away from Justin would start creeping toward the rim, right? Because he wanted to be in a position to get the rebound. The problem was if we drove baseline, which Dejan Giroux would do, we have the thing called baseline drive, baseline drift. I mean, we're counting on that guy to be in the corner. Here comes Justin wanting to get the rebound because Justin likes to get the rebounds. But J1's like that too. Last weekend our spacing was all messed up, but J1 kept running to where the ball was versus being a four. Like Jarris was, the ideal four because he would stay in the corners and his three-point shooting got better. But we're still working with J1. That's why our team is such a work in progress. We're going to be a good team eventually. We're just not that on October 28th because what you just point out is an example of where we got to get better. But it does, sometimes personnel groupings will help you in one area and maybe not so much in the other, but that's on me to figure that out.
Kelvin, what is it about JoJo that's let him be maybe a little ahead of, your ordinary freshman, especially, rebounding-wise?
Well, JoJo is, when we tell you how tall someone is, it's not an opinion. It's a fact. Sometimes I ask these guys when I'm recruiting them how tall you are, and they all lie. because they tell you how tall they want to be versus how tall they actually are. Like if I said, Emmanuel, how tall are you, 6'4"? He couldn't put stilts on and be 6'4". He's 6'2". How tall are you, Emmanuel?
6'3".
He's lying. He's still lying. Now his line's getting better though. He's not a 6'4", 6'2" and a half, 6'2" and a half, 6'2" and 3/4. Okay, we ain't rounding it up. How tall are you, Jay?
6'8".
Yeah, he's 6'8". Who's taller, you or JoJo?
Me.
Well, we measured JoJo, and I think he was. You're about 6'8" and a half with your shoes on, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why did people measure people with their shoes off? I never could understand that. You know, what's the point of that for a basketball player? Now, if you're a kickboxer, I can understand it. I mean, they fight barefooted, right? Well, you don't need to put their shoes on. Basketball players play with their shoes on. JoJo's wingspan is 7'6" and a half. Stick your arms out, Javier, all the way to me. Javier can slap the hell out of me from right there. You know, I've got alligator arms. I can't even reach his shoulder. But JoJo's 6'8". He weighs 227 pounds, and he's got a 7'6" and a half wingspan. Javier's 7'5" and a half. But he's got. When I recruited him, he did the one thing that you can't teach. He's got a nose for the ball. Great rebounders are always where the ball is. As simplistic as this sounds, it's true. Guys that can't rebound are never where the ball is. You know, it's like people that don't know anything about anything assume it because a guy can really jump high, that makes him a good rebounder. No, that just makes him a high jumper. It means he can jump high. That works in track. Basketball does not always relevant. Guys like Charles Barkley, Dennis Rodman, Moses Malone. Moses was an average athlete. You know, he just had an axe. His ass was 2 axe handles wide. That helped him. But those guys were always where the ball is. JoJo's like that. Justin was like that. Nate Hinton was like that. I've had some great rebounders come through this program. This kid's one of them. J1's like that. J1's all right. JVR's getting better at that. How many rebounds you have today, Jay? 6. But you got to figure out minutes played. You know, Justin averaged almost 10 rebounds a game, but Justin was playing 32, 33 minutes. You know, how many minutes did JoJo play tonight? 19. Played 19 minutes. Are you kidding me? You know, did the same thing last week. You know, he's not playing very many minutes. He keeps doing that. When this stuff starts counting, his minutes are going to go up. Because that's why, you know, last year we didn't have great depth in certain areas. I think one of the strengths of this team this year will be our depth. We have a lot of good pieces. We just got to figure out how they all fit.
I have time for 1 or 2 more if anybody's got it. Are we good? Go back to Chris.
Coach, how important is it to have guards and wings that rebound?
Well, for us, it's always been important. You know, I think that's why Nate Hinton's in the NBA right now. It's not because he's got some kind of really good whap game or great three-point shooter. Somebody's got to go rebound those misses those guys have. Most of the team I see have a lot of misses. The ability to go get them and create more possessions for your team is important. But, you know, one of the things that we tell the kids when we recruit them is what we do that I don't think a lot of other schools do to the level we do it at is add value to your game. You know how many guys that are shooters that think they're going to be in the NBA? You know how many shooters that can't do anything but shooter in the bottom of the ocean? It's littered. Layer upon layer upon layers, guys that can shoot but can't play. You know, Quentin Grimes, when he came here, was a one-trick pony, and that trick wasn't very good. But when he left here, he was a 40% three-point shooter. He guarded the other team's best guard, and he was averaging almost 6 rebounds a game. So when he came down for the 25th pick with Quentin and this other guy that averaged 30 points a game, but that's all he did, guess which one impacted winning the most? Of course, because Quentin had value to his game. And that's what we focus on. Like, Emanuel was not very good defensively tonight. well, he's going to get coached on that every day. You know, we're just not going to ignore it. You know, we're going to hold him accountable every day for sitting in his stance and figuring out he's got to get better at angles. But all these guys are young guys. You know, we've had a lot of older guys that had so much experience at backcourt with Kyler Evers and Tajay Moore, and front court of Fabian and Josh. That was a really old team. Well, this team is not that old. You know, second year, Terrence second year, JoJo first year. You know, we got a lot of guys that are still learning. But we got some other veterans, Jamal and LJ and J1. That's about it, huh? Am I missing anybody? Ramon's been around the block a little bit. So just keep plugging. Come